Welcome! I'm back looking at some new DVD or Blu-ray pickups today. Well, DVD and Blu-ray. I think most of these, maybe with the exception of a couple, but I'm not entirely sure, are gonna be dual format editions. I picked these all up for half price on the HMV website. This offer with 50% off this particular range might still be going at HMV. They've always got some sort of sale on regarding films, TV, music obviously. But I thought I would get a bunch of BFI editions that I've never owned physically before, and all but 2 of these films, because I've got 7 here to unbox and show you, all but 2 of them I've never seen before either. I'm just taking a punt. And that's the fun thing for me. I've really sort of got back into collecting film on DVD and Blu-ray over the past year or so, because I like physical media for starters. I do stream a lot of film and TV, obviously, particularly stuff that isn't readily or isn't available at all physically. But I do like having a physical copy of something. With films being at half price, 50% off with a code at HMV, I just felt, I'll take a punt on the majority of these. There is 2 here that I have seen before. I've never owned them before, but I've seen them before years ago. But these are all from BFI, the British Film Institute. So they're all British-made movies. I think they do sell some foreign films. I'm pretty certain they do. But I think all these are British. But we're going to go through them all anyway and check, and I'll tell you which ones I have and haven't seen before. Right, my only complaint with HMV, and it's not really a big deal, it just seems a little silly to me, is that this was an order of 7 and they were all in stock at the same time. But for some reason, and this happens so often when I'm ordering multiple items in one order at HMV, they were sent out in 3 packages. I mean, why not just wait and then send all 7 out in the one box or mailer? It doesn't matter because postage is free over £20 anyway, but it can't be that cost effective for them to be sending one order out in 3 different packages. Right then, so the first package here, this will just have 1 in. I'm not sure which ones are in which package, so a bit of a mystery kind of mail opening of a fashion, except that I do know what I've ordered. I just don't know in what order they come in. I think the majority were around £7.99, so reduced from £16. Possibly there might have been one that might have been even £7.49, reduced from £15. And I think there was one that was maybe £8.99, reduced from £18. But which of those are which, I'm not entirely sure. I've collected a fair few BFI Blu-rays and dual edition Blu-ray DVD sets. Certainly over the last year or so. I've got a couple of music related ones that are really part of my music collection from the KLF Pet Shop Boys, and I've got other films in the BFI and BFI Flipside range as well. So the first one I've got to show you here, it's a dual format edition on the Flipside strand, and it's Deep End. This is a film by Jerzy Skolimowski, and the quote on the front is "sexy, haunting, compelling, one of the best films of the 70s. I believe this is very early 70s. Yeah, it's Germany and UK production from 1970. It stars, if I can find them, I know Jane Asher is in it, because there's the ex-fiancée of Mr. Paul McCartney there. Anyone else who I'm familiar with? The male lead is John Mulder Brown, who I don't think I really know. So yeah, I'm not going to get these all unsealed and show you the booklets and extras. I mean, there's always loads of extras on a BFI release, and the booklet is usually really good and comprehensive as well. Just a couple of the extras here. There's a making of that lasts not that much less than the film itself. A short film called Careless Love, I think that is, that stars Jane Asher, just a 10-minute film, and lots of other stuff as well. Never seen it. I'm sure that I'll enjoy it at the very least. Next package, this one will have 2 discs in it, or 2 releases I should say, as if it's a dual edition then each release is going to have 2 discs in. Got a invoice there in that one for some reason. Chuck some of this rubbish out of the way. Now then, as I'm holding this one, this is quite a bare bones release. It is a BFI Blu-ray. It's not a dual edition though, and it's not in any particular series as such, but it's a film. I first saw this in A-level sociology, weirdly enough. My tutor at the time was a big Mike Leigh fan, and I've seen the film 2 or 3 times since then, and I'm going back, God, the best part of 28 years or something like that. But I'm talking about Naked. So this was from what year? 1993, and I would have first seen it, I think, 1997. Starring David Thewlis. There's other familiar people in here. Leslie Sharp, who is quite a well-known face on British TV. Catherine Cartledge, who I believe's passed away now. She got her start as an original cast member on Brookside. Claire Skinner, who was in Outnumbered. She's in this as well, and that's just the people who are listed on the credits on the back. I don't really want to start talking about plots for these. I mean, I can't really talk about the plots for most of them to much extent because I've never seen them. But I have seen this, so I do know what happens. It's a very dark kind of film, but it's so good, so well made, and I ought to get more Mike Leigh into my collection, really, as he is an absolutely phenomenal director. But really happy I finally got a copy of Naked, and it'll be the first time I've watched it in many years, when I do watch it very soon. So the other one from this package was another one that I've never heard of. It's in the Flipside strand, and it is another dual format edition, Hero Stratus, or I suppose it could be Hero Stratus, however you want to pronounce that. This is from 1967. Apparently this was unseen since 1967. Plenty of extras. It's going to have a nice thick booklet in it with lots of essays and stuff. I'm just looking to see who's in this. Michael Gothard, who was also in The Devils and The Valley, neither of which I've seen. Who directed this? Don Levy, or Levy. Out of all the BFI editions that I was adding to my basket, and there was a couple that I took out because I thought, you know, I won't go overboard here, although, you know, I did order 7 films, and there were 1 or 2 that weren't in the half price off sale, so I ignored those anyway. This was one that it sounded quite weird to me when I was reading a brief synopsis on Wikipedia, but I thought, you know what, I'll take a punt on it and I might end up really enjoying it. So anyone who's seen Hero Stratus or Hero Stratus, do let me know in the comments what you reckon to it. Don't give me any spoilers, please, because by the time I read your comment I probably won't have watched it yet, and other people don't want to see spoilers either. But if you've seen this and you've got any thoughts on it, then do let me know. Right, final package. This is going to have 4 films in it to bring us up to the total of 7 that I ordered. I'll get them all out and pile them one on top of one another. Okay, so here's the other one, as well as Naked, that I have seen before. I've only seen it once. I think I recorded it off film for one night a few years ago, but it is Scandal. This is from 1989, and it is the biopic about the Profumo scandal from the 1960s. So people of a certain age, older than me really, might have lived through that. This was a really good biopic. This is actually a dual format edition. I didn't think it was. Big names in it: John Hurt, Joanne Whalley, Ian McKellen, Britt Eklund, Roland Gift, who was the lead singer of the Fine Young Cannibals, but he also had a sort of sporadic acting career as well. Directed by Michael Caton Jones. Set in the 60s, obviously, for reasons just explained. Lots of extras, such as making-ofs, trailers, interviews with cast and crew. Loads of extras on it on the back there, so I won't go through all those, but a big recommendation from me, as is Naked. If you've not seen either of those, Film 4 do show them, the free-to-air channel here in the UK, from time to time, but it's a case of waiting for them to come around. I wanted copies of my own of those two films, as I think they're both excellent. The last three should be all flip side editions, I think. This one is The Pleasure Girls. This is from 1965. It's a black and white film. It's got Francesca Annis in it, Annette Wills, who was in Doctor Who, Ian McShane, who I can kind of recognise there, looking a lot younger, obviously. He of Lovejoy and Sexy Beast and Deadwood fame. There again, it's a complete punt, really. I want to get more 60s cinema and British 60s cinema in my collection, you know, the kind of kitchen sink dramas and stuff, which I don't know if this would be classed as one of those. It might be, I'm not too sure, but I know when I was reading up about this on Wikipedia, it sounded appealing enough to me. So yeah, The Pleasure Girls. Penultimate one is one that there was very little information about that I could find. This is called Voiceover. This one really intrigued me. It might have been the first one that I added to my basket when I was going through all the BFI editions on a HMV. From 1981, another UK production, needless to say. It's a film by Christopher Monger, a guy played by Ian McNeice, who is a radio presenter, but he presents sort of audio dramas, stories, that sort of thing. And without wanting to go into too much detail over the plot, I think he finds a young woman like who's been in an accident or something like that, and I'm not going to say any more. I've been careful as I've been doing a little bit of research on what I've been buying, not to see, you know, actual plot twists and endings and things like that. So I've just kind of read the first few sentences in a synopsis and thought, oh yeah, that sounds good enough, I'll get that. Although this one, I don't think there was actually even a Wikipedia article on it. There's similar titled films. It's on IMDb. I did look it up on there, and they had a few reviews, but very little to actually go on with this compared to all the other ones, certainly. Ian McNeice, he's been in a few things that I've seen. Presuming that this is quite low budget, really, but very excited to see it. Lots of extras, once again, it being a dual edition. It's here on Blu-ray and DVD. And the final one is Her Private Hell, another flip side edition from BFI. This one, black and white, UK 1967, and it's a film by Norman J. Warren, who was a British exploitation director. I do remember reading a little bit about the kind of critical reception this got and how it was a little bit controversial at the time. I mean, you can see with some of the special features that are on here, like there's a 31-minute featurette about exploring attitudes to nude modelling in Britain. There's a short film that's Norman J. Warren's first film from 1959. Lots of stuff. There again, can't really speak about it, but I've got 7 films here. The total price, free postage, I think these wound up being something like about £56 something all in. That's with half off, you know, without that code. And I don't think they're worth full price, you know, is anything worth full price anymore? But without that code, you know, you're looking at well over £100 worth of films here. So I love a bargain. I love discovering stuff that I've never seen before. Naked and Scandal, yes, they happen to be BFI releases, but I did want those at some point for the collection anyway. And all the others is just going to be a voyage of discovery. I'm not saying I'll love every single one of these, I probably won't. But at the price I've paid, I really don't mind taking a punt at all. So that was my BFI movie haul from HMV. Hope you enjoyed watching this today. And I want to say special thanks not only to everyone who's watched this, but also my subscribers and patrons. I'm going to go now. And of course, I'm going to stick one of these films on. What should I start with first? I really don't know. I'll probably start with one of the ones that I've not seen before. Maybe save Naked and Scandal to the end, really, as those are obviously films that I'm familiar with. But it doesn't matter anyway. That's for me to decide. But please join me again next time for my next film and Blu-ray collecting video. Cheers, everyone. See ya.